Football players that have had plastic surgery. Cristiano Ronaldo was very different from what you imagine. He had to have more than 10 plastic surgeries to get the look he has today. Narida Gallardo, one of his ex-girlfriends who runs a cosmetic clinic where Cristiano had many procedures done, revealed this. Even the Portuguese star's body isn't natural. Narida said Cristiano had ultrasound-assisted liposculpture to enhance his abs, so his ripped stomach isn't just from workouts but also from surgeries. But the biggest changes were to his face. Early in his career, Cristiano Ronaldo didn't look as good, but that changed over time. According to Narida, this was possible because he had a nose job to change the shape of his nose. His jawline was also altered by maxillofacial surgery, which fixed his teeth. And of course, to hide wrinkles, Ronaldo used Botox on his eyebrows and upper face. But there's more to it. A famous magazine in Portugal said Cristiano is addicted to Botox and has spent millions of euros on surgeries to remove wrinkles. It makes sense, especially considering he's nearly 40. But the most controversial procedure he did was to increase his private parts, let's say. Yes, he applied Botox there. The idea of the procedure is to reduce wrinkles, which causes an increase in size. Meanwhile, Gareth Bale had surgery to reduce something else. But don't worry, this time we're talking about ears. The player was known for having giant ears. He never hid that he was ashamed of them, so much so that one of his coaches criticized him, saying, if Gareth Bale spent as much time thinking about football as he does trying to hide his sticking out ears, he'd be a better player. To put an end to this story, the Welshman had a surgical procedure to correct his ears, but the question remains, did it make such a difference? But that's not the only thing Bale tries to hide. Many say his samurai-style haircut is to cover up his receding hairline. So far, he hasn't had any surgery to fix that problem, but Barcelona goalkeeper Ter Stegen did. Take a look at the before and after of the German. Another player who did this was Wayne Rooney. In fact, the list of players who have had hair transplants is quite long, but one of these players will surprise you. Look at what David Beckham did to look so good. One of the surgeries he had was a hair transplant, but that's just the beginning. When he was at his peak, Beckham became the center of attention not for what he did on the field, but for his surgeries. According to newspapers, the star is obsessed with his image and terrified of getting old. That's why he had plastic surgeries and Botox injections in his face. At least Beckham was born with natural beauty, which can't be said for Roberto Firmino. The Liverpool legend was quite different from what we know today. Obviously, he had facial harmonization and a few other procedures done on his face, but what really catches the eye is his smile, which became a joke on the internet for being too white. To this day, the player hasn't exactly said what procedures he's had, but according to dental specialists, Firmino doesn't use dental veneers. In fact, he had surgery that changes the shape and color of his teeth. Whether the result pleased him, I don't know, but it certainly stands out. But if there's a player even more eye-catching than him, it's Lionel Messi. And as discreet as he may be compared to other players, the truth is Messi didn't escape surgeries to change his appearance. You can tell just by looking at a before and after of the star. In addition to plastic surgeries and facial realignment, he had one that corrected his ears, a procedure very similar to Gareth Bale's.